All right, so day 7 is about training. And to be able to shoot a pistol well, it's going to require training. And training is a really investment because training classes are expensive and the ammo to use for the training. But what's important about taking a training class is to be honest with yourself and challenge yourself to be a student. That's what's difficult about taking a class. It doesn't matter how good of a shooter you are, you always need to be improving. Even if you're a grandmaster, sometimes it's good to take an honest look at yourself and take a training class with a professional that can look at you with and give you pointers. It takes a really good trainer to be able to notice the little things and see things that you won't even see in yourself. So that's what's important about training. Okay, so the training I had last year before IDPA Nationals was mostly defensive classes. I had a local guy, Steve Moses. I took a couple of classes from him. And Tom Givens is probably the biggest name I took a class from. And then Barrett Fallbush. He's a True Exodus on Instagram. Barrett Fallbush's class is something that really inspired me. And I took his 2-day class last April before Nationals is September. So the April before, I took Barrett's 2-day CCW class, and it's a really good class. And it's a 2-day class, and he doesn't waste any time on reloads or malfunctions. It's a pistol class. He doesn't talk about reloads or malfunctions at all. So 2 days of really focused on shooting, one-handed shooting, a little bit of moving and shooting. Really good class, and he's an excellent teacher. He's a preacher most weekends, and then one weekend a month he's a firearms instructor. He teaches more classes than that, but he travels around. It's tough to get in his classes. It takes some work, but I would definitely recommend, it's a great class, and it really inspired me to train more. Okay, so after Nationals last year, I took a Mike Seeklander Competition 101 class. And I've talked about that. I made a video about that. It's a really good class. I remember being so overwhelmed after that class with how many things I need to work on. Hey, get out of the water. And it's just, it's really good. I was just trying to get to the next level. And Mike is definitely a great teacher. And I really like the concept of, he's not talented or anything. He just works hard. That's why he's good. It's because he works hard. So definitely would recommend Mike Seeklander's class. Okay, so after my Mike Seeklander class, I went and shot Texas State, and I didn't shoot very well. But in the drawing, I won a class for Academi. And I haven't talked about my Academi class, but Academi is a very well-known training group. They train like a lot of people for the Navy, and they're very, that's what they do is train people. So they've got great facilities. They got a place in North Carolina, but the certificate I won was for San Diego, California. Being a Texan, going to California for pistol training seems kind of ridiculous. But to be honest with you, it wasn't too bad. I was a little worried about the California gun laws and how to, I was thinking I was going to have to shoot my 1911 or something because my Glock's high capacity to them. It's standard capacity to everybody else. But it wasn't bad at all. Talked to them, I bought their ammo. I used their magazine, so I just carried my competition Glock with no magazines, flew down there. It wasn't bad at all. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have gone. I was going to give the class away to one of the squad mates that was from California, but my wife was really excited about going to California, so I ended up going to California, really. And I'm so glad I did, because it was a really good experience just to go to California. But Academi is a top-notch facility, great facilities, and those people are real instructors, and they train. I mean, they're teachers. That's what they do all the time. And the particular class I took, I think it was a competition class. No, it was an advanced class. It was an advanced shooting class. And they don't offer a lot of classes to civilians. So, if you're in California, you got the opportunity to take a class there. I highly recommend it. It's expensive, but they don't add on extra fees. You know, a lot of times you'll sign up for somebody classes and they'll hit you for 20 more bucks or something for range fees and stuff. You know, this is a really good deal. And if you're from out of state, it's not bad to shoot their ammo and stuff. It was, wasn't too bad because my class is free. But I really enjoyed the instructor. Bill Go was the instructor, and he's a Marine and a competition shooter, and he's very knowledgeable. And I was really impressed with his teaching style. We shot a lot of drills. He challenged me a lot. It was really good for where I was in my shooting after the Mike C. Clander class and all the stuff I learned to narrow it down and spend time with Bill Go and the people at Academi and train there. I didn't get to make a video about it because it's hard to make videos when you're training and stuff. But it was an indoor range, so we didn't have to worry about weather and stuff. It was, it was really great. My fellow classmates were awesome in that class. It was just a great experience, and I can't recommend Academi enough. If you got the time and the money to invest in a class at Academi, they post on the website plenty of time in advance, and I think they only teach, like in San Diego, like 4 classes a year for civilians. The place was full of Navy people when I was there, but it's a great experience, and I can't recommend it enough. Okay, training is an important investment. And it's difficult sometimes to be a good student and to follow directions and do exactly what they say during the class. Even if you don't agree with it, as long as it's safe, do it exactly how you think they want you to do it and do it that way while you're at the class. And give it a good honest eval before you change your mind. Don't count things out just because, maybe a training class is in California or something you think is maybe any good. I really enjoyed the class at Academi. It was really good timing for me to go take that. It's a 2-day class. I enjoy the 2-day classes better because the second day you can think about stuff that night, then you can get your questions answered on the second day. So 2-day classes are worth the investment and the time. And I went down on a Wednesday, did some sightseeing. Went to the class Tuesdays and Thursday, went sightseeing that night, and then we had Saturday to fly back and do more sightseeing. So it's a great trip, man. I would recommend that to anybody. But I really learned at Academi the helping other shooters really improves your shooting. So, you don't want to be the guy that tells people how to do everything, but, if they ask, be willing to help other shooters. That'll definitely improve your shooting. And I learned some new drills, but one thing was better record keeping. I should know what my draw times are and my splits and reload times and at different distances. I got to keep better records. Is one thing I learned from that class. And one thing one great story was he was talking about keeping better records, and he was like, your draw time? And he called me out. And I was like, yeah, sure, I know my draw time. And he goes, all right, what is it? And I said, it's under a second. And he was like, no. It's 7 yards. And I'm like, sure, I can shoot anything under a second, 7 yards. He goes, no, consistently. I was like, sure. And he's like, show me. It was pretty cool. It was kind of like a Morpheus and Neo thing from the Matrix. But I was like, all right, let's do it. And I drilled he's holding the timer, and a buzzer goes off, and I drilled the target right in the center perfectly. And he's like, 101, like it's over a second. I was trying to hit a second. He's like, all right, let's do it again. And he's like, 98. All right, great job. And I'm talking not close to the edge. These are center. This is like right on the dash of the 0 down on the target at 7 yards. And he goes, all right, do one more. And then I shoot it. He didn't even tell me the time. I got a fist-sized group right in the center of the 0 down.
and I have to ask him what the last one is. He's like 0.9. That's a good job. But it was really good for me to be challenged and to, it's difficult to make those shots when the whole class is watching and you get called out. But, it's really helped me, gave me a little bit of encouragement. It's a great experience. And I would highly recommend Academi, Mike Seeklander, and Barrett Fallbush for sure. Those are some of the great classes that I've had. And I was really lucky I took them in the order that I did. Because after Mike Seeklander's class, I was a little overwhelmed with all the stuff I learned. And then I went to Academi and kind of just encouraged what I was working on and worked out some details. Really happy, but get out there and train.